Welcome to the alternate reality that is the internet, where Jake Paul exposes himself, MrBeast gets exposed by the New York Times, Trisha Paytas goes off on everyone, and Nikki Phillippi and her husband do something that really ticked off their fans. By the way, folks, yesterday was May the 4th, and to celebrate, I spent all day assembling my Star Wars Lego set with George Lucas and his $4.05 billion. Irrelevant news. Paris Hilton addressed her infamous Stop Being Poor t-shirt.
So there's this photo online of me. I'm sure you've seen it. I never wore that shirt.
Yeah, right, folks. Paris is trying to deny it years later, but I see it right there with my own two eyes. She is wearing the shirt that says Stop Being Poor. There is no other reasonable explanation for this situation.
This was completely photoshopped. Everyone thinks it's real, but that's not the truth.
Yeah, right, folks. If somebody was actually that good at Photoshop that they actually photoshopped Paris Hilton into that shirt, I refuse to believe it.
This is what it really said. Stop being desperate. Don't believe everything you read.
Well, that is a wonderful premise, folks. The only problem with it is if I'm not supposed to believe everything that I see on the internet, then how am I supposed to believe that everything that Paris said is the truth when it's way more fun to believe that Paris actually wore that shirt? And in other news, they're just floating up the river as cute as can be. Meanwhile, MrBeast is getting exposed by the New York Times.
Yeah, Mr. Donaldson's rise as a creator entrepreneur like that of many a YouTuber of his ilk has been far from smooth. His early videos and posts were criticized for their use of and offensive jokes.
Wait a minute, folks. I refuse to believe that MrBeast has ever said anything awful because he planted a bunch of trees one time.
Shut the f*** up, you stupid.
Folks, forget about it. We're talking about MrBeast here. He could probably shoot somebody at the middle of 5th Avenue and give them $1 million so they would forget about it, and they would.
Last month, Mr. Donaldson also faced backlash from fans who lost significant amounts of money on a cryptocurrency scheme he had promoted and invested in.
Folks, who cares if a few thousand people allegedly lost a few $1,000s each and MrBeast alleged a crypto scam refinable? MrBeast gives away so much money yet to balance out the equation. The rich folks gotta make sure that us plebes don't get too rich, folks. Write that down.
Matt Turner, 20, an editor for Mr. Donaldson from February 2018 to September 2019, said Mr. Donaldson had berated him almost every day. Mr. Donaldson often called him by a phrase used to insult people with mental disabilities, Mr. Turner said, leaving him in tears.
Folks, I had no idea that MrBeast was so based. That is literally my dream work environment. Being publicly humiliated in front of my coworkers is exactly what I need to get over my daddy issues.
Mr. Turner, who did not grow up with Mr. Donaldson, said that while his boss regularly featured his hometown friends in videos, he had struggled to get acknowledgement. I was not to be credited for anything I did, Mr. Turner said. I'd ask for credit, he'd credit someone else.
That editor should be thankful he even had the privilege to ask MrBeast to get credit. Most people don't even have the right to speak to him. And if they dare to... with their heads! And that's on a good day.
Mr. Anderson later uploaded to his YouTube channel a tell-all video, My Experience Editing for MrBeast, Worst Week of My Life, which he said brought threats and hateful comments from MrBeast's dedicated fans, many of whom are children.
As he should. Anybody who dares to come up against Daddy Beast should be taken down like a piñata on a toddler's birthday.
Akash Ratad, 20, a sophomore in college and a MrBeast fan, said he was troubled by Mr. Donaldson's silence on online mob attacks. There needs to be more from MrBeast on the issues his fans are causing, he said. It's not enough just to make positive videos.
Wrong! Making positive videos completely inoculates a person of any criticism or a need for accountability whatsoever. In fact, folks, it's a popular strategy on YouTube. It's been used by many other creators before. For example, David Dobrik gave out an entire shipment of Teslas before people realized that he was actively trying to off his friends.
Yeah, like people were messaging me like, how are you so good on a motorcycle? And I'm like, I'm not. I'm just like willing to, like, I got to get a vlog, man. I got to help David get a vlog. David's in the car filming me, and I was like, getting the wheelies good. And he's like, fuck, he's getting too good now.
Little known fact, folks, you never want somebody to be too good at the stunts they're doing because 99% of the fun is seeing the person absolutely failing and hopefully enduring life-lasting trauma.
Like, he wanted something to happen.
That's the worst thing, when he wants you to do something for the vlog, but you know that he only wants you to do it because he wants you to fall off or hurt yourself, or that's what's going to make it in.
If only David could figure out how people can get hurt without getting hurt, then he'd save a lot of medical bills. And in other Vlog Squad news, Trisha Paytas went off on aspiring lawyer Scotty Sire Esquire.
He does have mental issues, so I don't want to I don't want to pile on him. You know what I mean? Because like I know how bad that feels.
Okay, but no,
He just had a bad day.
Oh no, stop! I am so sick of people using mental health as an excuse to be like, person.
What are you talking about, Trisha?
As I have a lot of mental health problems, and I know not to lie about people, not to be delusional, not to accuse people of stuff that they didn't do, not to say someone wasn't essayed or whatever.
Folks, I feel so incredibly awful for Scotty Sire Esquire. All he wanted to do was defend Daddy Dobrik, and it ended up blowing up in his face, and we are still talking about it because he ends up making awful statements every time he opens his mouth.
Not him and other people this week. Oh, I have ADHD. I have this. It's like,
Okay.
get it under control. It's not other people's problems. It's like, no, you're a person. Own up to it.
Gee, that sounds familiar, folks. I feel like just a few days ago I was hearing something about all of that.
Understand why you should be apologizing to Seth and not doing a video saying you had a f***ing hard time. And negative comments coming to you. You deserve more negative comments because you still don't grasp what you did to Seth and other victims that you offended, including your own audience.
Don't worry, folks. Scotty Sire Esquire will get through this one as well. He'll just write a song about it and use this whole situation to promote it.
I had schizophrenia and medication diagnosed me this week. I'm not going to be like, well, that's why I've been like this over the years. No, I was a person for so many years. I had it untreated. I didn't get help. And that's no one else's fault. It can explain behavior, but it doesn't excuse you being a person.
Serious question, folks. What kind of excuse can a person use to excuse their awful behavior? Maybe blame it on the weather? I mean, it never rains in Los Angeles, and when it does, people get kind of loopy. I feel like that could be an easy excuse.
Apologize to Seth, you dumb.
I agree with that.
I do too, and will it happen? Find out at the 25 o'clock news. And speaking of news, Nikki Phillippi and her husband made a big announcement.
Hi guys, I feel awkward just like opening this video. There is no cheery way to open this video.
Am I the only one who's getting the impression that I'm about to experience the full roller coaster of emotions? Because she seems very happy, and then she immediately goes into sad when she realizes that her husband is sad, and then things just get really awkward when she realizes that she was really happy when she started and then had to get sad. I'm confused.
So over the weekend, going into the weekend on Friday, we had to put Bowser to sleep.
You know, part of me really wishes that they're gonna tell us how they took out the Mario villain, but another part of me knows that nothing good happens on the internet.
Well, I mean, we've had Bowser for almost a decade, and he's, for those of you who know him or have been around him, he's an angel.
Little known fact, folks, dogs that are angels are the #1 dogs that get put down because they're too good for this earth.
But, you know, he likes to get rowdy, and that's part of the reason why I liked him.
You ever watch a video that quickly turns into a face-first free fall down a 50-flight cement staircase?
We could have put Bowser down a really, really long time ago, and several times, and I've just been putting the day off.
Because you don't want to make that decision. That's the thing.
That is true, folks. Nobody wants to make that decision unless you end up making it anyway.
There was one incident that happened. Bowser got Logan in the face.
Well, that is awful, folks, that their dog got their son in the face. You know, not every dog's going to be good with children.
Obviously, it wasn't bad, but Logan still is...
Has a little mark.
He's still healing up from a little mark on his face.
What the hell am I watching, folks?
We contacted the Humane Society and we had a long discussion with someone over there, and basically she made it clear to us that rehoming Bowser was not an option because he had been with us from birth.
That's right, folks. Ending the dog's life was the only option in this scenario. There's literally no other family in the world or person or individual out of the 7 billion people who inhabit this world who could have taken care of that dog.
Rehoming, apparently, from what we're gathering now, when you rehome a dog, it's still like your liability if the dog were to attack someone. So it doesn't just, you don't just give the liability apparently to the next owner, supposedly. Maybe that's a state-by-state thing.
Wait, is it supposedly what it is, or is it actually what it is? Because now I'm confused, folks.
I had to, you know, think about this decision in the past. I've shed tears about this day, you know,
Years ago.
multiple times, so it wasn't easy.
Folks, if you're confused, don't worry about it. All of this makes absolute sense. They told us before that they didn't want to put the dog down, and then now they're telling us that they were thinking about doing it for literally years, but they didn't do it because they cried. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about 5 years ago that we were going to have to put Bowser down after an aggression.
Anybody else starting to get the feeling that this video is starting to feel like a story the Riddler was saying just to confuse everyone?
And a lot of you guys have asked us since we've had Logan, how Logan has done with the dogs. And we've told all of you over and over again that he's been fine with them. And I just want to clarify that that wasn't a lie.
Well, color me silly, because now I don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, we were out the door, right? And in the moment, I'm thinking, you know, I grew up with the movie Old Yeller, and I wanted to pick Bowser up by the back of the neck and take him into the backyard and put him down right there.
Dan is a man of action, folks. Keep that in mind when you remember the fact that Old Yeller had rabies when he was put down in the movie. And as far as we know, Bowser was perfectly fine.
You sound like you were going to say something. No.
It was just the worst day.
It was the worst day. It was amazing.
That's right, folks. It was the worst day because it was so amazing. And in other news, Jake Paul shared a picture of himself FaceTiming the former president, Donald Trump, because I guess that's where we're at right now. Now, palate cleanser. Anyway, defenders, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you like, will be another cute honor in a video. Tell me in the comments down below what do you think I want to know. Check out these videos right here. They're good too. Make sure to wash your hands, not touching your face, and stay away from stupid people. Have an amazing day, defenders. I love all of you. Peace.